Hi, I'm Pete. I just picked up this Hammond Model 124. It's a 1971 model. It's beautiful. I got it at an estate sale for about $100. Hasn't been run in probably 10 or 15 years, so you don't want to abuse these things. They need oil, and that's what this video is all about. I'm going to show you the proper way to do that with the authority of the Hammond manual that I downloaded. So when I got this organ, it's a little scratchy. Some of the notes, they need a little coaxing to play, but it makes some humming and some noise. You can hear that, but you know, all the notes play. This organ really hammers. So I'm telling you, it's loud. So I don't want to keep doing too many things on here because it's got a nice Leslie, but it's not oiled, so you don't want to keep playing it. I played it for about 20 minutes and I said, okay, that's enough. We're going to go into the back and I'm going to show you how to open that up, what kind of tools you need, and what's the right kind of stuff to use. So what I did first was I downloaded the Hammond R100 manual. There's a link down below. You can send a little contribution to that website if you wish. And I downloaded the manual. Very handy. One thing I learned, I moved this myself and I borrowed a pickup truck. It's 390 pounds. If you've ever moved or picked up anything, this is heavier than that. If I knew it weighed that much, I would have recruited a few more people. But anyhow, it just talks about, you know, the lubrication in here and what to use. And this is what you do not want to use, ever. Do not use this product or anything similar. Sewing machine oil, no. The reason is that when this oil dries up and evaporates, it gums up, and it's going to gum up the tone generator and the motor that drives it, and also the Leslie motor. You don't want any of this oil to be used in your organ ever, because it's going to eventually gum up within a year, and now you're going to have some big problems. So what do you use? Hammond oil. You can get this online, just Google it. It's about $20 for about 4 ounces. You're only going to use about 2/10 of an ounce, according to the manual. This tube was in the seat, and I'm going to put some of this oil in this tube. It'll be a little easier when we get inside and get into the back of the organ, and I'll show you how that all happens. I also found this really funky looking tool inside the seat. It's got a square drive on it and a nice little handle. Haven't figured out yet what this is for, what it's going to adjust, but you can't tune an organ. It doesn't happen. So if anybody knows what this is for, just drop a comment down below. We'll figure that out. But to get into the back of the organ, all you need is a 5/16 nut driver and a screwdriver, a little bit of oomph to pull it away from the wall. So the first thing we want to do, to be able to pull this away from the wall, I got to move out the bench, and I'm going to take the pedals off the organ. There's no way to move it safely away from the wall with that in there. Once it's away from the wall, I'm going to take a couple of pieces of scrap paneling that I have and lift up the back side and put that underneath. So to remove the pedals, all you have to do is lift up a little bit and pull the pedals out. So Hammond recommends oiling once a year. Pick a special date. Could be your birthday, your friend's birthday, anybody's birthday. But once a year, it gets oiled, and you've got to do this. Let me pull it out a little bit more, and we'll look at the back. Let's unplug the organ. And these handles are retractable, and that's really handy moving it. So we've got a masonite back here, and there's 2 screws that we'll use the nut driver on and a regular screwdriver for one little screw in the middle. 2 5/16 screws on the back. We'll push that handle in, and we'll take these screws out with the nut driver. There's also 1 screw right here in the middle. Just take that out. Okay, there's a couple of little tabs over here that you've got to turn, and that will loosen up this masonite panel, and then it will pull out like that. Okay, this is the tone generator, and these little cups, is where the oil goes. There's two places. This is like a clock inside. Every one of these shafts has gears for all of the notes. And the bottom of these funnels are cotton threads that go to each one of the bushings on all of these shafts inside. We're not going to open this up and look at it, but that's what's going on. So this oil actually has to wick down. Hasn't been oiled in 10 years or so. It's going to take a day for that to wick down and get into all of these shafts on the tone wheel. On this side of the tone generator is the motor that turns all the gears. And there's two little oil cups on here, and we've got to put oil in there. Okay, so the manual says 0.2 of an ounce in each one of the tone generator cups. And this fine little thing, these are the vintage oilers, and it says 0.2. So I was thinking I could take this and put it in here, and there's my 0.2, and squeeze it in. But I can't get this thing open, and I don't feel like breaking it. So I did read elsewhere just to fill to the top of those cups. So let's go take a look and do that. All right, there's that cup, and we're going to start squeezing that oil in there. Drip, 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 drip. I'm squeezing the bottle. It's going to take a while. Okay, on the motor for the tone generator, we've got these little oil cups. You flip it open, and again, only using the Hammond oil. Don't use 3-in-1 oil or sewing machine oil. Get a few drops in here. The reason for the Hammond oil is that when it evaporates, it dries up and leaves no residue, which will gum things up. That's why you use Hammond oil. And we'll fill this cup. And okay, and let's see, a little bit more. This one was thirsty. Okay, there it is. Cup is full. Let's take a look at these funnels again. I'll fill that up a little bit more. Let it run down. Okay, that funnel is full. And over here, let's fill up that funnel. It hasn't been oiled in 10 years, so that's all we can do right now. We're not going to play the organ today. Let this drain down for about 24 hours, and we'll turn it on tomorrow and see how it goes. I've got this open. I'm going to do a little vacuuming in here. There's a little bit of dust built up, and this is the time to do it. Inside here, I just noticed, if you don't have the manual, just to confirm what we're doing here, and it talks about how much oil, and it says 12 drops of oil in each one of the cups on the motor here. And of course the 0.2 of an ounce into each cup on top of the tone generator. So you'll find a label inside your organ that will have the proper instructions. When I was vacuuming, I found 2 red twist ties stapled to the side, and no doubt it's to hold the tube for the vintage oil. Well, I lost the cap for the top of it. It may have rolled under the organ. But yeah, there's red ties around here. When you vacuum, got to be real careful. All these wires, don't just drag the crevice tool all through here. Just be very gentle. You don't want anything to break loose here. This stuff is 55 years old, so treat it gingerly. The guts of this organ is the same as a B3 Hammond, with the exception of the amp and preamp, which are transistorized. And that's the only difference between this and a B3 or a C3. This model also does not have vibrato, and Hammond felt that because of the Leslie, that would give you enough vibrato sound, and it actually does, in my opinion anyway. I marked the bottle 6/25/24. I'll remember that date because it's my sister's birthday. And we had a B3 Hammond in our house. Our dad bought us, and we were very blessed to have that instrument in the house and play it. So he probably used that date when he oiled that Hammond. Put these pedals back in. You just push it up against the organ. Be careful of these tabs, and just lift one corner at a time, like that. Go around to the other side. And repeat. And that's all that's to it. There you go. Well, it's the next day and it still has a little bit of hum, but all the notes play. It sounds really smooth, really quiet, and I'm really pleased. Well, it sounds really great, and I'm really pleased. I got this thing oiled up. There is a little bit of hum inside, and I think that's from leaky capacitors, electronic components that are 54 years old. That happens. I can get those changed and probably take away that hum, but otherwise all the notes are playing. Sounds really strong, really smooth, and I'm really happy with this Hammond 124. And I hope this video helps you with some of your maintenance on your Hammond organ, how to oil it and when to oil it and what to use. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.